Just a beautiful afternoon for football, Coach. They say summer is the time to live in Chicago. Well, that's extended into autumn as we are ready to roll under blue skies at Soldier Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. On 1st and 10, Love. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. They will run for the first time here with White. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
I'm coming after you.
Off-play action. Love. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The sack by big number.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Love. This one complete to Christian Kirk. A big pickup, 18 yards, but they still stop him well short of the marker.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Watch the run, watch the run. Under 10.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. And a gain of about 4 here moves this from the 6 up to the 10.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
To throw is Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he will get the first down as he's up to the 20-yard line. A first down from Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
I'm going to run you over. Yellow.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Hey, seam 6.
On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. This one taken in by Olabisi Johnson. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
No, that's you, partner. Here's White, and he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down, Love. Linval Joseph able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Got to be careful here. Backed up this deep on 3rd down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They begin things in much better field position than their opening drive as they come up 1st and 10.
Gun.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. He lost 6 there on the 1st down play.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Play action now. Cousins under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Hassan Reddick gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
Gun.
3rd and long for Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. An update from Buffalo. You saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Throwing on 1st down. Love. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. No score after 1 on EA Sports. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Check the backer.
From the gun, Love. Hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. A well-executed 22-yard gain. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the 1st down.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the 1st.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's White. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Bears on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun, Love. Finding Gabriel, complete. Touchdown, Chicago! Taylor Gabriel, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Cousins. Complete. It's Johnson. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Come get some. He don't want it. Hey, we're good, we're good.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 38-yard line.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
Let's get it. Devon, ready? Mike, 58, right? Two. And 58 is the Mike. Go 58 is the Mike. Who that? 58 is the Mike, 58.
On 2nd and 12, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 23. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kyle Fuller. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. So that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
That's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Check.
On 2nd down, they'll run with White. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
But not a big gain with that play. But what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit, and what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
Taken from just outside the 30. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eddie Goldman with a sack. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want what?
On play action, Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. He'll field this at the 5. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. From the gun, Love. This one into the hands of Burton. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Operating from the gun, Love. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what did you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. First down, here's the run with Cook. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
On 2nd down, Cook. They have some space here. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook as the first half is winding down as they are now on the board here in the first half.
After nearly 30 minutes of football, that touchdown puts us in a position where if they make the extra point, we're right back to even before we start the second half.
Santos with the extra point, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
We got this.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Love. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field. Go.
A final shot before break. Love. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, set and ready to go for the second half. One touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score.
Let's go, baby.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have?
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Here we go. 50.
First down, here's White. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, Love. He can run for it, and he will. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down. Daniel Carlson on for the field goal. Remember, he was drafted and released by the Vikings. This from 36 yards out. Carlson able to put this one through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They start the drive with Cook, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. On 2nd and 11 now, Cousins, and he'll find Thielen on the right side. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. And that is incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Matt Weil now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Love. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
At the 13-yard line.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. They will run with White out of the shotgun. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
Makes it 3rd and 3.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play there on the catch and run. 53 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Love. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. 2nd and 15. It's caught. This is White. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
Operating from the gun. Love. And he finds Montgomery complete. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
The kick by Carlson is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Good route here.
They're running it.
On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. He gets this one to Johnson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 37.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
A gain of 2. Second and 8 at the 35-yard line.
From the 35 on second down. Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Now third down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there. So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first.
Single receiver, single receiver. Over there, single receiver. Max 50, Max 50.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's fourth down. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They'll run on first down. White, and he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Back now at Soldier Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Opting to run again here with White. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. That's complete to White. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. Back to throw. Love. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. To throw is Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way, and what else?
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Now listen, it's a team game. We know that. But where would these guys be right now, Charles? Without... Now White lost the football. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground with White. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
3rd down and 13.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Tight right. Alert, alert. 3 down.
Looking to throw. Love. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Linval Joseph getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. He'll return it from the 6. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Cousins now. Gonna let it fly for Rudolph. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And taken right at the 35. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. On 1st down, Love. He's got Burton here. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Here's White. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. They keep it on the ground. White again. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Watch the ship.
They'll run for it. This is White. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Throwing is Cousins. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Cousins, he'll find Thielen, work in the middle. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
Now Cousins. And Diggs has it. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command and make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. They run again on 1st down. Cook. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Cousins gives way to Cook. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining.
Gun. Bravo.
Screen. Watch the screen. Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
Read on 48.
Back to throw. That'll be complete to Cook. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be a 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. And this one is right through. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
Let's go.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. 7 yards on the play, and just like that, it's third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So a big play in this opening drive of overtime. Now looking at a 3rd and 3. From the gun, Love. He's got his tight end, Burton. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. This is a big spot for a rookie QB, and overtime's kind of where you earn your stripes, isn't it?
It really is, and we've talked with enough coaches and players about how these youngsters are getting into the game and playing this at such a high level so early. But overtime, that's an entirely different animal, and he's handling it well.
Yeah, starting to put together a nice drive. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter is a good running back dive play.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. The throw over the middle, taken in. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 39.
Partner, this is a pretty good drive they're putting together. And I know if I'm on the other sideline, that offense, kind of helpless, isn't it? Because they may not touch the football at all, because if they go down and score a touchdown, this thing's over.
Absolutely. That would write an ending to this script. We'll see what happens. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Offensively, back-to-back really nice plays. This defense, they've got 2 timeouts, maybe should burn one.
Yeah, when you get back-to-back explosive plays, to me, anything over 10 yards, I don't care if it's a run or a pass, I count it as an explosive play. That sets your defense back on its heels. A timeout here would be a good idea and try and get themselves settled, because we're in OT. This is big time.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw again. Love. And this will be caught. Touchdown. They needed overtime to get it done, but put this one in the win column. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for Chicago,